What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And finally, after 3 years of owning this motorcycle, I finally got risers and bars. I have no front fairing yet, but that's coming. It's actually already at my shop, but that install is coming in a little bit, which is actually kind of a surprise as well. But in this video, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the risers and the bars. This is my first ride impression. I have everything dialed in now, so we're gonna go for a quick rip and really just talk about how it feels. And man, already this feels like a totally different bike. But we'll go ahead, find a spot to do a walk around so y'all can see all the little details, and then we'll go ahead and just talk about how this feels, because I got to get some time behind these bars as well, just to really see if there's any kind of adjustments I want to do. But damn, dude, this thing feels so much better. I feel so much more comfortable. But all right, let's get to a spot. We'll do a walk around and we'll get back to it. All right, y'all, so the OG Moto 8.5-inch pullback risers matched with the ODI Moto Bars. I got the gold OG Moto gauge relocation pod, which is something don't forget to get if you're doing this whole setup. Something I want to point out before we get into all the other little details is I got this as a front mount, or a front mount. And what that means is that it's mounted on the front here, because if we went with the back mount here, which would go right here, the pod would actually be up here, and that kind of, I just don't like the aesthetic of that. So if you like the way that looks, just make sure you go ahead and get the front mount whenever you go to order this whole setup. Here's what it looks like. I have everything ran down the risers itself except for the gauge pod and the throttle by wire, because it won't fit. Oh no, actually the issue I had was I couldn't depin one of the connectors, so I couldn't get it to go through there. But other than that, everything else is ran, so it looks decent. Here in the very near future, I already have it bought. I'm also going to be putting a Memphis Shades fairing on, but it's not made by Memphis Shades, so that's something a little bit more budget friendly that I'm going to do a review on. Maybe help you guys save some money too, because we're gonna see the quality of it. But anyway, this is kind of what the bike looks like right now. It's looking good, so let's get back on it and get some impressions. Alright, y'all, so the first thing I noticed, and this is going to sound a little silly, but I feel like the bike is now made a little bit more for me specifically. I don't know, man, I feel so much more comfortable, and it's only been 15 minutes of riding, but I noticed immediately that my lower back isn't being strained as much. I've done quite a few long hauls on this bike before. Obviously this is my first ride with the risers, and 10 minutes into the ride you can tell that you're having to lean over just a little bit, and the taller you are, the worse it gets. I'm 5'8", just for reference, but God, guys, this thing feels like it was made for me now. I specifically went with 8.5-inch because I knew I was getting Moto Bars as well. But man, this thing just feels amazing, really. So as important as height is when obviously choosing risers, also the pullback, I think that plays a big role in the amount of comfortability that you're trying to achieve here. And for me, being 5'8", obviously I don't have extremely lengthy arms, so bringing those bars closer to me it just feels like it has dramatically changed the riding experience of this bike. Like 180, bro. 180 completely. I did notice that I'm gonna have to kind of adjust. I guess it's just a different feel now. So I was in a corner kind of giving it some gas, and I was a little sloppy in comparison to prior. So I'm definitely going to keep that in mind and just kind of work the corners a little bit more cautiously in the meantime. But I mean, it feels solid, right? I chose solid bushings as well. No real reason. I could have gone polyurethane, but I just figured, why not solid? I'll never have to worry about them again. But wow, dude, wow. The only thing that I did prior to filming this video was go around the block just to make sure that my levers were where I wanted them, because before, with my bars being down here, the levers obviously will be in a different location in order for you to feel comfortable. But here I found that more of a straight, just plain coming off of the bars itself seems to be the best kind of fit. So yeah, man, this thing feels good. Absolutely no wind deflection right now. I took off the fairing, obviously, and because I already ordered a Memphis Shades fairing, I don't want to put the original fairing back on. I might put it on after this video is made, but I just wanted to focus on these bars and these risers for this specific video. And speaking of which, definitely like, subscribe, because if you are interested in the Memphis Shades fairing, just the thing I couldn't get behind was how expensive they were. But I have found, I believe, a solution. It looks identical, boys. And yeah, we might be getting away for 1/4 of the price, honestly. And it comes with everything you're gonna need, including headlight extensions and all that. So wait for that review, like, subscribe, comment, and that will be coming very shortly. Again, it's sitting at my shop. I just got to find time to put it on and do a quick review. So all right, wow, that actually felt good, that corner. I didn't hit it hard, just because I'm still getting used to, I guess, the change in leverage and change in position. But wow, that corner actually felt good. I wasn't even affected by it at all. I didn't even think about it, so I came out the end of it. But wow, I could ride this bike for, come on. Yeah, dude, that feels solid. I could ride this bike for fucking hours now with no complaints. I just feel like my posture is so much better. I don't feel like I'm hunched over and just looking like a fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Nah, man. Risers are the way to fucking go, especially for the lowrider. Honestly, if I had to do it all over again, if you handed me a stock lowrider S, I would do risers first, then exhaust. Because I think comfortability is more important than how loud it is. And I mean, you couldn't explain that to me 2 years ago or a year ago. But I guess now that I know the difference, maybe I'll change. Maybe I'll try to persuade everybody else. Wow, it feels good, boys. It feels good. Again, I paired the OG Moto 8. These are 8.5-inch risers with the ODI Moto Bars. You can get them all through OG Moto. Would highly recommend changing bars, if for nothing else, the weight. Dude, when I'm telling you that this shaves pounds off of the front end of your bike, I was surprised when I picked up those stock bars with, mind you, nothing was on them, it was just the bars. I couldn't believe how heavy they truly were. It was actually kind of a shock to me. And these bars, I mean, fuck, dude, these things are light as shit. I'm not sure if you could really feel it in like the handlebars themselves, but I mean, it's got to have some kind of performance benefit, right? I don't know, you tell me. The biggest pain in the dick about this whole project though was de-pinning and running those wires through the bars. If you could just get over that, save yourself the money, do it yourself, and I promise you it's well worth it. And it just kind of gives that level of custom that, you know, a lot of people will sacrifice just because it is a pain in the ass. There are a bunch of bars out there though, but these ODIs, they feel solid. They really do. I mean, and everything was plug and play. Important note though, you have to get the 1 1/8 inch handlebars to fit these OG Moto risers, but they do taper off to 1 inch to fit all of your controls. So make sure you keep that in mind, because if you don't, you'll have to get these sleeves that go in there. But I mean, not the biggest deal, but if you're going to buy new bars, make sure you order the 1 1/8 inch. So being 5'8" and pulling these bars up 8.5 inches with the pullback, I mean, they are almost perfectly level with my shoulders, which is the ideal fitment if you're looking for being comfortable, really. Now, it's only 8:30 in the morning. It's already like 95 degrees. I can only ride in the summertime first thing in the morning out here in Florida, guys. It's fucking ridiculous. You know, I mean, it helps me too, because you kind of miss all the crazy traffic. You know, you get that early morning ride in, you get your fix, but you don't have to deal with all the people just in a rush to go fucking nowhere. So, but still, it kind of sucks. You can't just go out at 1 o'clock to just go ride if you wanted to, because it's just so hot, dude. And then the engine, you know, God, I can't only imagine, like, is it really harmful for the bike? I don't know, but it just gets fucking hot. So better to be safe than sorry on most days. And something I was finally able to do with these risers is invert my mirrors, which I love so much better, because I don't have my shoulder in view anymore. Because I always, you know, anytime I needed to use my mirrors, I kind of had to lean the bike out just a little to get my shoulders out of the way, and that was just a pain in the dick, really. But with the being able to invert your mirrors, you know, you set them up to where it's just underneath your arm at that point. Crazy, bro. Oh my God, a little bit of history though. This is where I took my motorcycle course 10 years ago. That's fucking insane, actually. But yeah, right back here, right there. That's funny to look at. Crazy. I will say that I also feel like I have a little bit more leverage in these bars now, so I don't have to push. Like, it takes a lot less effort to make the bike do something. Well, alright guys, all in all, OG Moto 8.5 inch pullback risers matched with the ODI Moto Bars. Go ahead and get them. I will not recommend anything else. I love these risers. I love these bars. Everything has turned out to be amazing. It feels perfect. This is my first impression, like I said. My first real ride with them on. And man, I could go for another 3-4 hours without with no issues at all. If you're looking at a set of bars or a set of risers, this, I'm telling y'all, this is it. This is it. Do your own research on the height itself. Again, I'm 5'8". I went 8.5 inch. The stock rise on a stock lowrider S is 4 inches, so make sure you account for that. But 8.5 to 10.5, I think you're going to be sitting pretty good. But yeah, guys, thanks for checking out my video. Make sure to like and subscribe. I have a few more products I'm about to install on the bike and do a review on. And yeah, keep riding safe, and I'll see you on the next one.